and we are with the Entertainer of the Year. Yes, of course, the star that's being awarded today for excellence in entertainment, and she truly deserves it. She's someone who, of course, has wowed everyone with her talent and performances, and all her contemporaries agree to that as well, as we were just hearing from Kritika Kamra earlier as well. Taapsee Pannu, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Uday, for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Let me begin by asking you, it's the NewsX Shakti Award. So for you, Taapsee, where have you derived and where do you continue to derive your Shakti from?
I'll give you an example. Because I can't give a generic answer to this. All I'll say is when I was in transit yesterday at airport, I was just sitting and having my meal. There was a lady who was next to me who was like, "Are you Taapsee Pannu?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she sat with me and she narrated how the films that she's seen of me made her take some really important decisions in her life, to derive courage to take a stand for herself and for her kids, for the partner who couldn't live up to her expectations and left her in amidst things. And she decided to take control of her life in her own hands, and today is CEO of a company. And that was one of a few interactions I've had with women who walked up to me and spoken to me about how they have followed my choices and derived courage to take up such important steps in their life, courtesy what they saw me doing probably on screen and the kind of odd decisions I ended up taking off screen. That was too heavy a compliment, which I told her then and there, saying that, this probably validates and makes me take the courage of taking all those odd decisions I have taken for most of my career and life, because this is where I derive my strength from. So this is what really gives me the strength to keep doing what I'm doing every day.
Let's have an applause for that impact that Taapsee has had, and I'm sure many of our audience members agree with that, and that's what.
And it is very odd actually, Uday, because at these moments I don't know if I have to say thank you, because they're obviously trying to compliment me, or say I'm so sorry that you had to go through it. So it's a very odd situation to be in at that time. But I realize the kind of responsibility I hold and the kind of impact I can possibly have on these women, which makes me feel all the hard work is validated because of such compliments.
And do such compliments there put a bit of pressure on you, or give you that responsibility as well for your future choices that you make as an actor in the roles that you choose, and also a producer now, which you are yourself?
Yes, they do. And I realized this responsibility way too early in my career when I did Pink itself. I think from there onwards, I had the sense of responsibility, because people did walk up to me and say things which made me feel like I think I'm being watched very seriously by these women, young, old, both. So I do have this sense of responsibility and do take it seriously.
Today, in fact, one of our panelists was saying that they said, the film industry has this responsibility as well for women empowerment. And when she was saying that, mere man mein bas pink hi chal raha tha. Waqai mein, I'll be honest with you. No means no. You know. But as far as, of course, for you, awards as well, because you're being awarded one today. But rewards are, of course, audience appreciation, like the one you just said. Awards की महत्व का महत्व क्या है तापसी के लिए?
I say two things. First is awards are very subjective, because there's a bunch of jury members who decide that you are worth of a certain title or no, and it's a decision of that bunch. Okay, it can vary from person to person. And the second thing I say, award shows are TV shows. They also have to validate the TRPs. So it also has to come with, are you really selling on television or no? So there's this part 1 and part 2 of that answer. It's up to you which one you want to take in.
Do you believe then that some film awards are facing a bit of a credibility crisis?
No, of course they are, because see, the thing is, they are shows. They need to get sponsors. There's a lot of money that goes in organizing those awards. There need to be certain moments created on stage. There needs to be certain moments created off stage, or with the kind of gathering that makes a person feel excited about watching that show on television. So there's it's entertainment. A lot of money has gone in putting up that show. So only getting someone who's probably off-screen life is not that exciting, or is not that exciting a personality to be seen on stage, they wouldn't mind not having that person, even if that person has done a great job on screen, because they are purely television shows first, and then everything else. And that's okay. I mean, the day you accept this, life will be easier.
There's another title. Today, of course, we've given you one title, as I was saying earlier, NewsX Shakti Award. But एक और title है जो कुछ लोग आपको देते हैं. That is alternative. You're smiling because a lot of titles are given to you often. But I'm talking about the alternative box office queen. इस title के बारे में क्या कहेंगे आप?
See, the thing is, anything that's not conventional becomes alternative, right? So, conventional things I did try, but I don't think they're meant to be, and I accepted that very quickly because it was not working. I realized whenever I've taken the step against the tide is when it has really shown me results. So might as well accept it. And it comes naturally to me. Something that's obvious and conventional, somehow it doesn't fall in my head at the right place. So it's okay. It's just that when people think of something odd or something which is not conventional, instantly my name comes into their mind, be it even as a maker or as an audience. When they know they're watching my film, they know that it can't be so simple. It cannot be so obvious. And same as with a maker who comes up to me and offers me something. It's like, if it's too simple and obvious, we will not go to her, because either she'll not accept it, or it's not really worth having someone like her. It would rather actually harm the film to have her, because people will expect something to turn and it won't, and it will probably harm the film.
Also, as far as, of course, another fact of yours is concerned, and how do you react to that? The fact that, you have done so many, women-oriented films, as they're called, and many have, of course, in the industry, but you are perhaps the only one who had a sequel as well.
Yeah.
That's quite an achievement, isn't it?
And
what's your take on sequels?
Actually, I would want to give this credit to someone like, say, Rani Mukherjee as well, who had a Mardani 2, a successful part 1 and 2. And I'm so privileged and happy to be in sort of a category where I could actually have a successful sequel as well. Very rare opportunity for women. Usually we are the ones who are replaced in a sequel. Franchise के अंदर hero same रहता है, heroine change जाती है. So we are usually that easily changeable gender. But then some of us are lucky like this, maybe because we probably over the years invested in those kind of roles and films where we've conveyed that we are not easily replaceable. So I guess uske jo fruits hain, eventually you get in form of a film like Haseen Dilruba, which has a sequel, which probably will have another part to it. So yeah, it was a long years of hard work and patience of doing these kind of characters that I eventually could get this kind of franchise.
And then, you have, of course, a Fir Aayi Haseen Dilruba, and the same, vicinity you have Khel Khel Mein as well.
Yeah.
What explains that?
See, that was Khel Khel Mein came out of nowhere for people who probably have seen me in more intense cinema before. They never thought that I had any funny bone in me. So I guess they were people. I'm still getting message because it's strange. Khel Khel Mein probably not spinning some amazing box office numbers, but it's still running in theaters. So if a film is not really good, no theater would want to really run it for so many weeks. It's been more than 8 weeks. It released on August 15th. It's still in theaters in metro cities, and it's on Netflix as well. So it's very strange that I don't really feel I can call this kind of a film a failure when it has sustained in theaters in spite of so many other films releasing. So I find it as a huge success for a film like that, and I got to play a very few writers have the ability to write depth with comedy. Mudassar has that. So he gave me a role which not just was funny, but also had really good character depth in the role, which you will see when you see the film.
No, I've seen it, and each character was written so well as well.
It does. So it's a big kudos and Congratulations to Mudassar, because it was like one of those rare scripts where you have so many characters and you don't feel that you have shortchanged anybody. Everyone stands validated in the end, I feel.
I think एक आपका dialogue भी viral हो रहा है. Someone sent it to me yesterday and said, you know, कि it's about, I think, पिताजी and मुस्कुराहट और लड़कियां का.
Yes, कि अगर देखना हो, मतलब बाप बेटी से कितना प्यार करता है तो आप देखो बेटी मुस्कुराती कितना है, या कुछ something on those lines, I feel. Yeah, so it's about you can actually judge how good a father a girl has had if you see how much that girl actually smiles. So I guess
Let me ask you then about your bond with your parents.
So yeah, as you can see, I do smile a lot. I've been smiling through a lot of lows and highs that I've faced in my career. Not just father, I think I've had great parents I think the biggest credit to them is they let me do what I wanted to do. I think I'll give them the credit of that in a place where conventionally we don't allow girls to come into such experimental careers. I just want to be thankful to my parents for letting me do what I wanted to do every step of life, actually.
You know, there are so many who look up to you. And I have to ask you then this question. Who are the contemporaries or others in the industry, women whose work you admire and you look up to? Kritika took your name just now.
And Tabu, and rightfully so.
And
Kritika, you were excellent in Bheed. You were so good. You know, since roles like that, actually I should say, I did a small part in Baby, which was also hardly a 7-minute role. And nobody thought it will turn out to be a film that it turned out to be. I'll get a spin-off of my own. Just a 7-minute role had such an impact. It's about how much depth you can add as an actor. No matter how much of the screen time doesn't matter. It's about how much depth your character has. And that was really good in Bheed, I feel. So I feel there's so many other girls who are... See, different girls inspire at different times. Not all films of every actress are something you say, oh yeah, ye mujhe karna chahiye tha. Yeah, you know, oh wish I got that, or I did that. At different times in their careers, they inspire in different ways. So all my contemporaries, I know how hard it is to be able to sustain in this industry as a female actor. So all of them who have sustained over years and still stand relevant, they are for sure to be looked up to. Because at some point in their career, they have done something really good to be there.
Recent performances that come to mind?
I have not seen some recent films because I was on a 2-month off before I start shooting training for my film Gandhari. So I haven't seen something latest, but yeah, in the time of this session, if it comes to my mind, I'll just tell you.
Okay. And now speaking, of course, about that, Gandhari, you know, the fact is, you did action before, and you did it, of course, before a lot of other women as well in the industry. We all remember Naam Shabana, which was path-breaking in itself. You did Baby, and Akshay, of course, did Naam Shabana.
Yes.
But, you know, speaking about Gandhari, lot of training, I believe, going in. Very interesting character action भी है.
Yes.
कुछ बताइए इसके बारे में.
Actually, action मैंने जब Baby और नाम शबाना में किया था, उस time पे spy thrillers were not in like fashion. Now everybody wants to do a spy thriller. So I did it so many years back that now if I do it again, it's like very weird. Why are you repeating yourself? I've done something which was so remarkable back then. I don't want to touch it and spoil it again. So let everybody else do that. If I have to really do action thriller, I was very clear I will go in some other world. So Gandhari is a different world. It's a mother's revenge for the daughter. You'll see what it is about when you see the film. Devashish Makhija is directing it, the one who directed Ajji and Joram. Tremendously good director. Kanika is writing it and producing it. It's a Netflix original. It'll hopefully have successive parts if it's successful. But yes, it's an action thriller with a heart of a mother.
You know, recently, of course, I was in Abu Dhabi for this awards function, and the host was Shah Rukh Khan, and it was amazing. The audience, the stadium was packed, and he was at his charismatic best, as he always is. You did a film with him, which I loved, and my family loved, and it got you a lot of appreciation as well, Dunky. What is one thing you learnt about him on set that you'd like to perhaps share with us today?
That when you are there, no matter what you're doing, give your 100%. When you are at work or at home or whatever job you're doing, be 100% present there. So that's one thing that, I mean, there can be 50 things on his plate. But when he's in a rehearsal, he's 100% there. He's not waiting, okay, khatam karo, let me go to the next one. When he's shooting, he's 100% there for those hours. You'll not see that man even moving away from set. So that's the kind of dedication I've learned from him. When you're doing something, make sure you give your 100% for that time without getting distracted.
Yeah. You know, Taapsee, of course, everyone, and we've had successful women through the day today, and a lot of our audience is learning from your stories, and a lot of them, of course, are inspired by you, as you said at the start. Everyone learns and, you know, is inspired, of course, from success stories. But let's also share perhaps a low of yours, or, you know, maybe a failure, or a point of, you know, that you learned from in your life and that didn't break you and perhaps made you stronger.
I think life is a sine curve. That means you are alive. If it's straight, you know what that means, right? So it's better you look at it like that. I kind of lived through my lows as much as I lived through my highs. My lows were the ones that told me that, okay, I think someone said very rightly that failures are better teachers. They teach you better than what success can. So when I had failures, I got to know what I should not be doing. There were the times, I think pretty early in my career, I had a biggest setback where I was almost on the verge of thinking, should I just pack my bags and go because this doesn't seem like working for me. When I realized, okay, let me just give it a shot. One last time, let me choose a film from my mind, from my heart and mind, without following कि दूसरे लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, कैसी film करनी चाहिए. I think that one decision changed everything for me, because till then I was trying to follow the path, conventional path that people have laid down for an actress, thinking agar A-list actress banna hai, so you have to do these kind of films opposite these kind of heroes. So I kind of like stopped taking those decisions in that direction and chose the film that I would want to do or I would want to watch. I think that changed it for me.
You know, as I said, there's this award that's been given in a lot of cricket matches these days, Game Changer of the Match. What has been, you know, a couple of game-changing projects for you that changed the course of your career?
A lot. I think it started with Pink. It went through a thappad, and it still, I think, has a Haseen Dilruba touch to it. So I think there've been a lot. I'm forgetting a baby and a Naam Shibana. I'm forgetting a Manmarziyan that gave me in place in hearts of a lot of youngsters. So I really I'm very blessed actually.
Okay. Okay. You told us about the lows. Haseen, सबसे हसीन लम्हा क्या रहा है? हसीन दिल, real हसीन दिलरुबा के लिए.
हसीन लम्हा. No, I'm very bad at blame it on my memory. I don't have any one Haseen lamha in my head that comes instantly. I think I've had a very good life. Yeah. And I'm very happy about it.
And touch wood, it's continuing very well.
Thank you.
End with a rapid fire. So, are you a beaches person or a mountains person?
A beaches person.
What's the one, if I say holiday, what's the one destination that comes to your mind?
Any beach destination at good weather, like between 20 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Favorite cuisine?
Either chole bhature or Japanese. It's quite opposite, but yeah, these two.
Okay. Delhi aaye ho?
Yeah, I had, मैंने निजाम के रोल खाए आते सारे.
So someone is having chole bhature, someone is having kathi roll.
Yeah, no, she loves chaat. I know, I love chole bhature. I said last time I had chole bhature, this time I'll have nizam ki chaat. So I'll have एक visit पे एक
कमाल. और सब कहते हैं actresses खाती नहीं हैं. आप काठी रोल खा रहे?
No, I live to eat. I work out only so that I can eat.
Yeah. Okay. What's one superpower you wish you had?
One superpower that I could. I think I have. Partly I have it. I could disconnect. I would want to disconnect because that way I cannot get affected by whatever is happening.
If you could time travel, which time would you like to time travel back to?
I think I loved my school days. Yeah, I would have want to go back to those days.
Okay. What was your favorite subject then?
Maths.
Maths.
I was pretty happy with my maths and physics actually.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So if not actor.
I wanted to do my MBA. I'm an engineer, so I wanted to do MBA after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And finally, let's end with 2 truths and 1 lie. 3 चीजें आप बताइए हमें, और उनमें से 2 सही हैं, 1 गलत है.
Okay. I'm born in Delhi. I enjoy being at award shows. I'm an engineer.
I hope this award show is not included in that.
Is that also a question?
Okay. Thank you so much, Taapsee Pannu. More power to you.
Thank
and
you.
keep, of course, choosing these fantastic roles. And we hope you'll keep making the impact that you are
Thank
on
you.
our country and the world.
Thank you so much.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. A small token of appreciation before we let you leave.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.